Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video today. On today's video, we're going to be focusing on the Datsun 280ZX finally. So I know you guys have been brewing for an update. Let's see what's going on with the Datsun. When is it going to be fixed? When is it going to drive again? Where are you going to put more Datsun content? I know you guys, it's been a long overdue Datsun content. I definitely want to get it back on the road, but this thing is a mystery and this thing keeps constantly breaking on me. So it's part of the learning experience. But today we're going to be diagnosing one of the biggest issues with it. But before this video gets started, you guys, give this video a like and consider subscribing for more GR86 content and Datsun content. That being said, let's jump right into the video. Alright, so as you guys saw, we are currently behind the Datsun. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be diagnosing one of the biggest issues, because right now, you guys, the Datsun is full on broken. Like, it cannot run, it cannot start on its own, it cannot just operate normally like a regular car. Like, this thing is straight up broken. So I thought we fixed the issue multiple times, such as like the fuel injectors, the battery, ignition coils, spark plugs, etc. But it looks like there's something greater now that I'm dealing with at the moment. So recently I actually tried to move the Datsun because we do have street sweepers over here, and the car felt like it was only running on 2 cylinders. Now, as you guys saw in my Instagram, I did post that we did take it to one of my buddy's houses to get it fixed up, or try to fix it up. So we end up having a misfire cylinder number 6, turned out to be the spark plug. After, when we replaced that spark plug, the car ran even worse. So we didn't know what was going on. We did some compression testing, we did some spark plug testing, we did some fuel pressure testing as well. Everything checks out okay. However, we did think that the fuel pressure regulator is no longer good. We even looked on the forums to see if the fuel pressure regulator is bad. So far they said that it is, so we're probably going to replace that. But before we do that, when I was moving the Datsun because of that street sweeper, the car felt like it was only running on maybe 1 or 2 cylinders. So when I got it to operating temperature, you just see white smoke starting appearing from behind the car. And usually I thought that was normal because this car is such a mystery. Like, I know it's broken and everything. I would think it's nothing. But then it started to get a little bit more aggressive. Not only that, the cabin started filling up with the white smoke, and the fumes were really, really toxic to the point where I was actually coughing and it was itching my throat and started to burn my throat and burn my eyes. So I was like, oh crap, this is bad. So afterwards, we moved the Datsun. I tried to get it to my house. We actually couldn't even get it up the hill from my house. So it completely just lost all power and it was just fighting for its life. So I just let it drag and roll down the hill. We parked it in a safe location. But afterwards, when we parked the car was still smoking. I thought there was a fire. Luckily, the Datsun did not caught on fire, but the smoke or the steam still remained for a little bit. So we went ahead and just let it cool down. I was watching over it just in case I have to call the fire department to see if it actually is a fire. But nothing happened, nothing ignited. The Datsun completely fine. But when we had to move it back, we actually had to tow the Datsun with my GR86. Luckily, both of these cars are super lightweight, and this car has enough horsepower to get me up the hill and back to where the Datsun needs to go. So after talking to a couple co-workers, couple friends, couple shops, we might have a head gasket issue. So that's what we're going to be figuring out today, just because I cannot move the Datsun right now. I have all my tools with me, I have all my camera gear with me to check this out, see what's going on. Game plan is we're going to take off each of the spark plugs, check out the cylinders. I don't think I can get it top dead center, just because I completely forgot one of the most important tools to rotate the engine, but that shouldn't matter. I do have a camera probe that we're going to use to see what the condition is like inside each chamber. One of my co-workers actually brought up to me that if you do have a coolant getting inside the engine, what can happen is the carbon will actually peel off of the piston walls and piston surface itself, and if it's shiny, then you have a head gasket leak. Another thing too, what we did notice when we were checking out the spark plugs, they definitely looked fouled, covered in like some kind of liquid. Like, it smelled like fuel, but it really didn't. Like, it was a different type of liquid. So it's possible there's coolant getting inside the combustion chamber. So that's why we're going to be checking this out today. But for now, you guys, I bore you enough with all the talking and all the mechanic talk, so we're going to get right into it. So let's get started. Alright guys, so we got the first spark plug out. So I'm actually going to show you guys what I mean when I say the spark plugs are fouled with some kind of fluid. And it's a little bit hard to see. Let me try to focus up for you guys real quick. There we go. So it is kind of hard to make out, but that glistening that you see on the very top is not supposed to be on that top of the spark plug. This is where the arc tip is, and that ignites the fuel inside the combustion chamber. But since it's covered, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to ignite. It's not going to run properly. So this is why we're checking it out. So since the spark plug is fouled with some kind of liquid, we're going to check on cylinder number 1. Alright, so I have the little camera probe in order to check to see what's going on inside the chamber. It has 2 different modes. It has a camera on the top and one on the side, so that we can check the cylinder walls. So it just starts up, and whatever it sees, it will reflect back onto this screen. So I got the picture up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out cylinder number 1 and see what we're dealing with really quick, and I'll show you guys after. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, it is really hard to see on like what exactly we're looking at here, and I'm trying to make it as best as we can just because it is in direct sunlight, so I do apologize. But from what I'm seeing, you guys, it doesn't look super shiny, more like a very moist carbon look. So like we go inside the cylinder and we see there's like specks right on there. You know, it's just super hard to make out, but I think cylinder number 1 is okay for now. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright you guys, so I try to get it in the shade as best as I possibly can, but right now there's like this little shiny chrome piece right here, and there's a dark part right here. So we're in cylinder number 2. This shiny part is the top of the piston on cylinder number 2. So this does confirm we do have a heat gasket leak, so there is coolant getting inside the combustion chamber. So that's definitely not good, just because we're not going to be able to drive this car for a long period of time until we get it fixed. But for now, we're going to plan that later. We're going to take a look at the other cylinders and know what the other condition is like on the other combustion chambers. But from what I saw from cylinder number 1, it's definitely very carbon. I would say there's a lot of carbon buildup on the piston itself, so we're mostly going to have to replace those too. But for now, depending on like what the other cylinders are going to look like, we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and put cylinder number 2 back together, or I'm sorry, put the spark plug back, and then go on number 3 and see what that one looks like. Hey guys, we're going to go to cylinder number 3, see what the combustion chamber looks like. Okay guys, so when I was checking out cylinder number 3, let me see if I can try to make that a little bit better for you guys, just because there is a little bit of a sun glare. Alright, let's see if it might be a little bit better. Okay, so right now you guys are looking at the top of the cylinder, or I'm sorry, the top of the piston. So I have the side camera on, and right here is the cylinder walls. So it is kind of hard to make out, but that little line where it's barely above the piston, that's actually rust. So we're most likely going to have to resurface the piston walls, but I can't get a full view of what the piston walls look like because I don't know if there might be a leak in the block itself. If anyone in the comments might know, I would definitely give me a shout out, or if you can comment down below and tell me if it's no longer going to be good, I really appreciate it. Alright guys, so we're on cylinder number 4, so let's go ahead and check it out. Alright you guys, so we're on cylinder number 4, and as you guys can see, we have another shiny and moist piston. So that makes, I think, 3 pistons that have a coolant leak. So let's go on to number 5. Alright, let's check cylinder number 5. Alright you guys, so on cylinder number 5, this one's a little bit harder to make out, but let me see, I'm going to try to focus it up for you guys so you can see a little bit better. So pretty much these little specks that's around the screen is the top of the piston, and it is shiny. So we have another piston that's flooded with coolant. So that makes 4 pistons that have a coolant leak. Off to the last one, and I think it's going to be the worst one out of all of them. I did take a look at the spark plug. It is a little bit fouled as well, but not as bad, but this one still has a coolant leak. Alright guys, last cylinder. Let's go ahead and check this out. Oh my god, you guys. Okay, I'm honestly a little unsure because it is really hard to make out what this could be, but I think the top of the piston is cracked. There's a line that's going across the piston. I'm trying my hardest to confirm it to see if it is, but just take a look, you guys. So that dark line that's going across looks like a straight up crack on top of the piston. That is not good. We're gonna need new pistons as well. Dang, that's crazy. Okay guys, so I looked at it a little bit more. I changed the camera angle to see if I can get a better view. It definitely looks like a crack. Like, I can see the light from the camera lens is making like a little shadow from where I saw that crack. And another thing too, there actually is a chip off of one of the pistons. You can actually see it right over here. Try to focus up for you guys there real quick. So yeah, as you can see, that's a gnarly crack down in the middle of the piston. And right here, this little part, this is the cylinder wall, and that little gap has a piston chipped off. That is so bad, you guys. Man. And this is only just the pistons I can see. I have no idea what the engine block even looks like, or if the head is even cracked. This is really, really bad, you guys. I may or may not need a new, completely different engine. This is crazy, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and put the spark plug back, and then we'll go ahead and talk. Alright, you guys, so we're back in my car. So Datsun all put back together. So let's talk about what we found. So first things first, we definitely do have a head gasket leak. There's definitely coolant getting inside the combustion chamber, so we're gonna need a new head gasket for sure. But while we checked out cylinder number 6, it looks like there's a crack that goes across the top of the piston. And not only that too, there's a chip in the side of the piston which can scratch up the cylinder walls. So it's possible that the engine block might be damaged, because I won't lie, you guys, I forced the Datsun to run just because I do have street sweepers, and the car can get fined or possibly towed. So I thought it was okay. Definitely set for the consequences now. As of right now, starting today, I will no longer start the engine whatsoever, just because the severity of the engine's condition is that bad. So, which now we are in the process of wondering what to do with the car. So right now, you guys, if you guys are wondering if I'm thinking about selling it, no, that's definitely not gonna happen. Like, it's not in my mindset. I don't think like that. I don't want to give up. Like, I actually want to fix this, or possibly like restore it like as much as I can. Obviously I'm super limited to the resources I have right now. I definitely gonna need my own garage space one day, or possibly a shop to do it at. But it's a long way from now, you guys, like just stepping stones from here. But what I'm wondering is too, is the engine salvageable? Obviously I won't know until I get a professional Datsun mechanic, or if I should just replace the engine with a new refurbished L28E. But the thing is, you guys, so what I've been hearing the last couple months, there's been a law that's been trying to pass cars that are 1981 and older to no longer require smog, just because smog equipment and smog parts are super hard to come by, especially for a discontinued brand. So it's very hard to get your hands on those. And not only that too, even if it's refurbished, or even if it's modified to try to pass smog regulations, it's not always going to do so, just because there's modifications done to it in order to run smog or EGR systems. So depending if that law actually passes or not, should I just do a completely different engine? But the only thing is, then we'll have to swap the drivetrain and also the suspension, possibly, depending on what engine I decide to go with, and if that law so pass. Now the thing is, you guys, if that law does pass, because I'm hearing rumors saying that it did, sort of. A buddy of mine mentioned to me that cars starting 1981 and just 1981 don't have to worry about smog no more. However, there are some rules where you can't, I heard that you're not allowed to drive it more than 1,000 miles a year, I heard you're only supposed to put it, you gotta have collector's insurance, which is basically insurance for like any modifications done on the vehicle. You have insurance over it. Another thing too, I heard, I believe you need to have a collector's or like a rare vehicle license plate. So it's kind of like a piece of history. I know there's a certain term to it. I'll put it right on the screen right here just because I can't think of it off the top of my head. So I heard that might be going on soon, but I have no idea like how they're going to announce it or when they're going to do it. But if they do, I'm in it all the way. Now, if it does happen, I honestly want to put an RB in this engine, you guys. Like, literally, I love the inline six feel. A lot of people would like to say 2JZ. I totally get it, but I'm a Nissan guy at heart, so I love these things. I'd rather keep it to where it's close to OEM, but also an upgraded version of it that's somewhat from a different engine, if you get what I mean. But I do see a lot of people RB swaps 280Zs, 240Zs. And not only that too, you guys, they actually have a drivetrain and a suspension kit to go in these cars, believe it or not. So if that does pass, I'm down for it all the way. But if it's not, the time being is I possibly might have to repair the engine or just replace it with another L28E. It really depends. Like, again, I'm super limited, you guys. Trying to use the best of my sources as I can, as much as possible. So for now, you guys, we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer on another Datsun update or modification, because I can't buy anything right now for the Datsun because it needs possibly a new engine. So until then, you guys, the Datsun's gonna be sitting off to the side until we do something about it. It's very unfortunate news because I was hoping to get something done with it by the end of this year, but unfortunately there's going to be another year or two of hiccups or like setbacks that we're going to have to deal with. But that's kind of part of the process when you're trying to restore an old car, especially when it has discontinued brands. But it's not over, you guys. We're still going to push through and try to get this done and try to get this fixed up. I would love to drive this car, and honestly, I'm okay with those kind of rules, what that law states. I don't know what it is exactly, but I'll put it on the screen here too, because I would like that to happen, honestly, because then I don't have to worry about inline six parts, power parts, restrictions. I just all for power and all for like reliability almost. So that's going to be the video for today, you guys. Definitely a quick video, but it has a lot of things that's going on. So eventually, when the time comes, when we're ready to like fix up the Datsun again, it's going to be a huge update. But for now, she's going to have to sit for a little bit, possibly, or we're going to move it somewhere else, just because I did mention that there's street sweepers we're going to have to worry about. So I don't want to keep towing this thing back and forth, so we're going to go from there. So until then, you guys, stay tuned for more Datsun updates, but we will have more videos coming out, possibly more about the GR86. So I'll still keep posting content no matter what, but when the Datsun content comes, be ready for it. But that being said, you guys, really appreciate you guys for the support and for watching this video today. Be sure to get this video a like and consider subscribing for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.